Hello, my dear students. How are you? I hope you are doing well. So, here we are with Class 9 Science, Chapter number 1, Matter in Our Surroundings. So, let us start with this chapter. And before going to start with this chapter, let us see what we are going to discuss in this chapter. So, children, be ready with one register and pen and let us start Class 9th, Chapter number 1, Matter in Our Surroundings. So my dear students, in this chapter we are going to study about the introduction part, then we'll discuss about the physical nature of matter, we'll talk about their characteristics, different states of matter in terms of classification, and then we'll discuss how we can change one state into another, and finally we'll talk about a very important process, that is evaporation. So are you guys ready with this? Let us start with this chapter. So here in this chapter, when we deal with the introduction of matter, first thing is, if I ask you, children, what is matter? A basic definition that you have been studying since class 6, anything that has mass and occupies space. But here in this chapter, we are going to discuss in detail. So when we talk about matter, we say that everything which is around us, which is made up of matter, starting from air that we breathe, the food that we eat, stones we see, clouds we see, stars, planets, plants, animals, and even a single drop of water, or a particle of sand, or the air we breathe, all these substances are matter. So when we talk about the food, the sand particles, even the water droplets, even small microscopic organisms, stones, animals, plants, all these are matter. If I ask you why, the answer is yes, they have mass and they occupy some space, and that's why they are matter. So when we talk about Indian philosophers, they classified matter into 5 basic elements. They said that matter consists of fire, matter consists of water, sky, air and earth. These 5 basic elements consist of matter. That our Indian philosophers said. And they believe that all living and non-living things, they all are composed of these 5 basic elements. That means fire, water, earth, sky and air. And any of the substance around us, whether it is living or non-living, they all are made up of these 5 elements. That was the belief of our Indian philosophers. The concept of matter is defined as we have discussed, substance which has mass, anything which has mass and occupies space and can be sensed by any of our 5 senses. So here it is the notebook. Notebook, it is a matter because it has some mass, it occupies space and we can feel it. Just by touching we can feel it. Same is with pen, same is with sun, same is with star. We can see they are having their some mass as well as they occupy some space, and thus all these substances are regarded as matter. So I think now there is little bit idea you come to know about matter, what matter is. Now if I ask you, which thing which is not matter, anything that you know which is not matter, so I can say yes, it is the feeling, it is the ideas, the thoughts, honesty, manners, taste and smell. They are not matter. The feelings are not matter. I can say food is a matter, but its smell is not matter. So let us discuss what is the basic thing, what is the difference between a particle, between a substance which shows the properties of a matter. Because all these substances, all these feelings which we have shown here, they are not matter. Why? Simple, they don't occupy some space, they don't have any mass. If I ask you, is your idea have some mass and occupy some space? No. Your feelings? No. So they are not matter. So matter means we require some substance or anything which has some mass and occupy space. So if I say food is matter, but what about its taste? Taste is not a matter. If I say flower is matter, but what about its smell? Smell is not a matter. So I think now the clarification is in your mind, what substance is matter, right? Let us move further. Now we can say that matter is made up of very, very tiny particles. And if these tiny particles are there, which has some mass, which occupies space, we call them as matter. So it is nothing but the matter which consists of particles. These particles are actually responsible for making that substance a matter. Now we'll discuss about the classification of matter. So when we talk about the classification of matter, we say that we classify matter into two categories, physical classification and chemical classification. When we talk about physical classification, in general we have 3 states of matter, that is in your syllabus, but we'll discuss the 5 states of matter. 2 we'll discuss later. The 3 important major states of matter are solid, liquid and gas. Whereas when we talk about chemical classification, we classify them as element, compound and mixtures, where element and compounds are the pure substances and mixture considered as impure. Though this chemical classification we'll study in chapter number 2, and in chapter number 1 we'll talk about only the physical classification of matter.